Recently, I've been able to see some more episodes from the Penguins Madagascar series, and one of the episodes I've seen recently is the episode The Otter Woman. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about this episode. Now, the episode begins when the penguins wake up Marlene because they want her to help them with a mission. And so, Marlene holds on to one of the penguins, while Kowalski collects this water from the sewer. And I just cannot get over why they had her to do that, which was to find out if the water was gross. Yes, just, oh my goodness. When Kowalski told her that's why they wanted her to help them, she's like, seriously? That's what you got me out of bed for? It was crazy. Anyway, so Skipper tells Marlene that she was the right guy for the job. And Marlene's like, what? Why don't you wake up one of the other actual guys for your next crazy mission? And then she's like, I'm not a guy. So, yeah, I don't really know why Skipper thought she would be the right one for the job. I honestly don't know why he thought she would. I don't know. But anyway, so Marlene goes back to bed and they come back and grab her again, or at least Rico does. And this time they want her to judge a burping contest. And apparently whoever has the stinkiest burp wins. And she's disgusted by it, and I'm guessing they do it just about all night, if not all night. And even Julian gets in on it, and she's just like, ew, 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 this is disgusting. Poor Marlene. I'm telling you, they should have put more girl characters in this show. And I think I might talk about Marlene sometime, because I would like to mention a few things about her, and I guess I can mention here real quick that she's, really the only girl character in the show, or at least main girl character that's an animal that's in the show, that is. But really, she's really the only girl character in the show at all. So, yeah, that's... I hope when we get a new Penguin show that there's more girl characters, and I believe there will be. But anyway, so she finally is able to leave, and there's this one part where she jumps into her pool, and when she comes out, her fur is white due to too much chlorine in her pool. And there's this one part where she walks off camera and she sees herself and she screams. Now, I actually think it would have been better if we had actually seen her reaction when she sees her white fur. I think that would have been better, and there's actually a few things I think that would have made this episode better. And I mean, sure, it would have been longer, but I don't think that would have been, too bad. I definitely think it would have made it better. But yeah, anyway, so she goes to tell the penguins about what happened, and something else that's also very strange, besides them wanting to help her collect sewer water, is that when Skipper sees her, he falls in love with her. And if you've seen my video where I talked about Skipper, I mentioned that at the time I hadn't seen this episode, and that I had seen a clip of it though, and in that clip is when Skipper sees her, and I also mentioned in that video that Skipper really makes a big fool of himself when he sees Marlene. And I've actually heard someone say that it does seem very surprising to see Skipper fall in love, and I absolutely agree with that. It's very, very strange, and it's even more strange in this one due to how he acts. He didn't even act this way around Kitka, which was this falcon that he had fell in love with. And just, oh boy, he just completely makes a big fool of himself. in that episode. I just wish I knew what was going on in Marlene's mind when she saw that he was in love with her. Oh my goodness. I can only imagine what she was thinking. But anyway, all the penguins seem to be amazed at her beauty. Rico even whistles at her when he sees how pretty she is. And also, Julian even falls in love with her too. And Skipper and Julian fight over her. Or start to, and just it's a crazy mess. So anyway, Julian wants Marlene to be his queen, and Marlene's like, "What? Are you out of your mind?" And also, Kowalski thinks that she's some kind of Arctic mink. And when he does some kind of spit test on her or something, he puts this swab on her tongue. When she tries to say that she's Marlene, it comes out Arlene, which makes Skipper and the others think her name is Arlene. So yeah, that's another thing on top of the craziness that goes on with Marlene on this day. But anyway, so Julian wants, again, Marlene to be his queen, and he even has some different crowns set out for her to choose from. And there's this one part where Skipper is spying on her, and when she looks towards him, he falls off the wall. It is so funny. And so then she leaves Julian, and then she sees Skipper drawing a picture of himself, her, and this heart that he drew in the middle of them. And she's like, "Skipper, what are you doing?" And then when he sees her, he freaks out and he tries to erase the drawing. And then Kowalski tries to find out more about her, because he thinks that she's some kind of rare animal. And he measures her head, and she's like, "Come on, you must know who I am. Come on, you're a smart guy." But he doesn't, and I really don't understand why he, or even Private, didn't recognize her. I don't know. Now, there is this one part where Kowalski's like, maybe this Arlene is actually Marlene. But there's no other mention of that, from the penguins. So, I don't exactly know. I guess Skipper told Kowalski off camera, no, that can't be right, because, they never mention it again. Which, it'd make a lot more sense if they did, and, if they finally realized it. Just, I tell you, this episode definitely could have been better. It's definitely funny. Just cannot get over the crazy things they did in this episode and how Skipper acted around her. It was crazy. Then, after Marlene gets tired of the penguins and Julian's craziness, she heads back home, and then Skipper comes to visit her, and he thinks that she's staying with Marlene, and she gives him a picture trying to show him that she is Marlene, but instead of realizing the truth, he thinks that she did something horrible to Marlene, which, okay, this is really, really crazy, because in the episode The Falcon and the Snow Job, when Kitka was blamed for taking Julian, Skipper didn't, he didn't believe that she did, which she, didn't. But I really don't understand it for this one, because Skipper just really acted crazy around Marlene. He didn't act that way around Kitka, but I don't know. I'm telling you, I wonder about these penguins sometimes. Oh my goodness. But anyway, so it's really weird how he suspected Arlene for doing something to Marlene, but yet he didn't suspect Kitka for doing something to Julian. So, yeah, I really don't understand that, unless it's just, he he was truly in love with Kitka instead of Arlene. Or also it could be maybe because he's not a big fan of Julian, so maybe that's one reason why he, didn't believe that she took him. Which again, she didn't, but that might explain it. But anyway, so the penguins storm into Marlene's area where she lives in the zoo, and she tries to tell them again who she really is. And there's this one part where Skipper says, "What kind of fool does she take him for?" And I'm like, "I don't know what kind of fool she takes you for, but I take you as a big one." And I'm like, "Yeah, I take you for a big one." And so anyway, she gets away from them. She even goes in this little area where they keep their little remote control car, and she takes off in it. And then she runs into one of the zookeepers, and and then she takes Marlene and changes her fur back. And then everything's back to normal. And the penguins still don't believe her. I mean, it's crazy. I'm telling you, this I think is one of the craziest episodes there is. Don't get me wrong, it's a good one, but oh my goodness, I just cannot get over some of the stuff the penguins did. Like having Marlene help them collect that sewer water to find out if it was gross. And that they didn't believe her when she said she was Marlene, that her fur was bleached white due to too much chlorine in her pool. Oh my goodness, I just cannot get over how crazy they acted in this episode. But anyway, so yeah, there's this one part at the end where Marlene is, trying to, she's asking them, just, "Why didn't you recognize me? Just why?" And they still don't believe her. So I guess Marlene's just like, "Oh, forget it. My fur's back to normal. You guys are crazy anyway, so just forget it. Just forget it." But I bet she's glad that, Skipper didn't keep acting like he did when she had white fur. So anyway, that's the episode, and I'm glad I was finally able to see this one, that and a few others. So stay tuned for more, and bye!